My name is Carol Fox. Nobody really calls me Carol anymore. I'm at Feminist Fox on Twitter, and everybody has now adopted me as at Feminist Fox. I'm really delighted to be here this morning to speak to you. I wasn't quite sure who would be in the audience. I did do a little bit of research. I thought it would be mostly young female nursing students. I see it's a more mixed audience. But really, I want to address my remarks to the young female nursing students in this audience. I think when we listen to what's going on in the general election and how things are today, then you might feel apprehensive about going out into the world right now about how hard things are. Well, let me tell you that I actually think you're very lucky to be studying and setting out in your career now. Because believe me, things were harder 30 years ago, particularly in relation to attitudes and particularly in relation to the battles that women had with the medical profession. So I want to speak up for women. I want to celebrate motherhood. I want to shout out for single parents who don't get a lot of good press. And I want to shout out for nurses, because I think that you play a vital, vital role in balancing the humanity, or lack thereof, sometimes displayed by our doctors in a medical profession. Not all doctors, but some doctors. And certainly in my experience, being listened to as a woman in terms of the choices you want to make has changed over the years, and I'm very glad that we live in a different Scotland now than we did live in 30 years ago. So I want to share with you a little bit of my story. I want to say to you about living your life. I am a liver of life, and I've lived my life according to my choices. And just picking up on the remarks made earlier on about having the gift of being totally present. I think I was born with the gift of being totally present in every room that I was in. It didn't always make everyone else in the room very happy, I have to say. And as a young child, I was often strapped into a high chair or put into the cot, but I would manage to make enough noise with either the bottle along the cot or the beaker till they let me out again. So I've always wanted to stand up for my rights and to be heard, and I think that's what I've done. In writing this book, I've recorded the journey that I had to become a mother, primarily for my daughter, but also for any other young women who now have got more pressure on their shoulders about how do they make career choices and how do they make choices about having a family, how do they balance them, and how do you feel fulfilled in all those choices. My quest for motherhood really started when I was younger than most people in this audience today. I was 20. And because you're nurses and medical practitioners, and goodness knows who else in the world is listening to this, but here goes, I tell my story about my exploding ovaries to the world. At 20, just as I had graduated from Glasgow University with a maths degree, setting out on my own journey in the world, trying to find my way, I had an ovarian cyst. And I was taken in as an emergency to Law Hospital. And the side story to that is that my mother was the nursing officer in Law Hospital for 40 years and did constant night shift. My family background is a lot of nurses. So I was in Law Hospital at the age of 20 and lost my ovary and fallopian tube. I put that behind me. I put the experience of doctors behind me. It's all here in the book. I just used their Dr. A, Dr. B, Dr. C, so that there can be no, I'm taking legal advice on that matter, so no come back on any of that. And set on my way to just get on with life. Unfortunately, again at 27, I had another huge ovarian cyst, was told it was on the other ovary, and I would never be able to have children. So that was something for me that was just quite traumatic and shocking to happen at such a young age. And as a feminist, I hadn't actually considered children in any great detail to that point. But after 2 operations, it turned out I did have one functioning ovary that the doctors, the scans, somehow had been wrong, or that the ovary that had been previously removed had regrown. Makes me the bionic woman, or makes some doctors not always be absolutely right in what they're doing. So I did have the chance to be a mother, and I thought about it very, very carefully. It made me reassess the whole path of my life and where I was going to go. So over 25 years ago, unfortunately, I didn't experience much sympathy or very much support. Hold the front page. Woman wants a baby. What's shocking about that? Hold the front page. Single woman wants a baby. Hold the front page. Single woman wants a baby with the aid of fertility treatment. The shock and the kind of negative attitudes that I experienced with the medical profession at that time were unbelievable today. I think that most of you who work in that profession or experience wouldn't think it was possible today. So I had an experience of saying, how very dare you, who do you think you are? And picking up what was said before about difficult conversations, let me read you what I have recorded as a difficult conversation with the doctor that I experienced. Considering what I had already been through with the sympathy of doctors before the operation, so sad not to be able to have children, and so young too, there. I expected at least an understanding hearing. I made another appointment with Dr. C at his clinic in Monklands Hospital. I felt confident that I could rationally and intelligently explain my considered thinking, my research and careful deliberations, and ask for medical help to become a mother and have a baby while I still could. That was the plan. My stomach was churning as I sat in the waiting room. I was early, but the clinic had started late. I was trying my best to avoid eye contact with the other women. I didn't want to compare disorders again. I'd had enough of that in hospital. I should have brought a book, I thought, as I flicked through the women's magazines full of recipes and fashion choices. I timed the other patients as they went in and out of the doctor's room. It looked like each appointment lasted less than 10 minutes. So I will have to talk fast, I thought, but not too fast. After all, I want him to know I have thought about this and read lots of books. I needed to impress him, be the intelligent, thoughtful, professional social worker, not so much of the stroppy feminist, I thought. Play it cool, I told myself. It will be fine. Finally, my turn came. Good afternoon, Dr. C. Please take a seat. According to your notes, you've had your 6-month post-op check. Any further problems? Me? No, not really. I'm feeling much better. So how can we help you today? Well, since I got out of hospital, I've been doing quite a lot of thinking. Thinking? No need for that, my dear. Just get better and put it all behind you. So it might be a good idea to keep track of your monthly cycle from now on. Yes, I've been doing that. Trying to be healthy too. You said before when I was in hospital that doctors don't know what causes ovarian cysts in the first place. No, I'm afraid not. Your case was unusual too, at your age in your 20s. 2 cysts in the same ovary. Oh, a bit unusual, but nothing to worry about really. Don't worry. I've taken it all away properly this time. Me. Well, if there's nothing to worry about, can you tell me that it won't happen again to my good ovary? Or what I need to do to prevent it happening to me a third time? Bearing in mind I'm 27. Well, no, but you mustn't dwell on these things. Too much thinking is not good for you, dear. Me. The plan's not going well. Actually, I've not just been thinking. I've been doing lots of reading too. And I've been in touch with some clinics in London. After lots of thought, I've made an important decision. I want to have a baby while I can, and I need you to help me. Pardon? I don't understand what you mean. I want to have a baby while I can. But according to your notes, you're not married. Well, no, I'm single. But I'm absolutely sure I want to have a baby while I still can. Oh, no. I don't understand at all in exactly what way do you think I can assist you? Me, keeping calm, trying not to be the stroppy feminist. Well, I've been in touch with some fertility clinics in London and they just need a letter of referral from you as my consultant telling them about my previous operations. Hold on a second, my dear. Wait just a minute. Are you seriously proposing to try and get yourself pregnant deliberately at a fertility clinic out of wedlock in London? Me. Oh, wow. Yes. Lots of people have babies without being married these days, and I want to have a baby while I still have the possibility. Since I only have one ovary and you can't tell me when that might go wrong, then I don't want to have to waste my time. Losing my cool slightly. Now look, listen to me for just a minute. You're a very attractive young woman. Stop all this thinking of yours. You've had an upsetting time. Being in hospital, I remember you didn't even want the operation at all. It all went well. You're just upset. I am sure you'll meet someone, fall in love, get married, have lots of babies. Your Prince Charming might just be around the corner, you know. Me, almost losing my cool. Well, he might, or he might not. And even if he is, he might have fertility problems too. I'm not upset. Breathing deeply. I'm very sure. After what I've been through twice now, I'm just not prepared to take that chance of never being able to have a child. I want to have a baby by myself, my decision, my responsibility. I don't want to trick anyone into it. I don't want a reluctant partner, not fully committed to being a parent. I want to have a baby while I can. The clinics in London said all they needed was a letter of referral. Dr. C now losing his cool big time. This is not London. This is Monkland Hospital in Lanarkshire. I can assure you that I am not in the habit of referring single young women to clinics to get themselves pregnant out of wedlock. I have never heard anything like this before in my entire career. These things might happen in London, but they most certainly do not happen here in Scotland. Not only will I not help you with this outrageous plan of yours, I will make sure that no one else in Scotland will give you the time of day. I beseech you to think again. Me, red, losing my cool, but it's my body and it's my decision, and I don't want to think again. Dr. C, well, in that case, I can't help you. You don't mind, I have other patients to see this afternoon. The nurse will see you out. At least she smiled a little more sympathetically as she showed me the door. Following this appointment, I received a follow-up letter from Dr. C, beseeching me in writing not to have a child out of wedlock. It's there, it's in the letter, it's dated 1989. This was not last century. It was only many years later that I found out that Dr. C was a happily married father of 7. If I had listened to him, and this book's written to my daughter, you would have remained only but a dream. That doctor had the power to change my life. I remember the outrage I felt the day I received his letter, still smarting from being unceremoniously thrown out of his clinic, facing a life of childless misery as I saw it. What was so shocking, after all, about a woman wanting a baby? I was not about to be told no, least of all by him. If I had the chance of motherhood, then I wanted at least the opportunity to roll the dice and see what happened. But I had absolutely no idea where to start. The door had been so firmly slammed in my face. I needed to prepare before I went chapping on any more doors. So what I did after that was I got the train to London. And this story, which I don't have time because I'm just getting the cue here at the beginning to tell you everything that happened, but it charts me trying to find a doctor that would be sympathetic. Some of the clinics in London who had no issue with treating single women wouldn't treat me because of my complicated gynecological history. They referred me on to private clinics who wouldn't treat me because I wasn't part of a nice middle-class married couple. And so I went round the houses until finally I camped out on the doorstep of a clinic and said, it's my body, it's my risk, this is what I want to do. So the story, and I can show you what I looked like 25 years ago, there with the dark hair. It's like one woman's journey to grey hair on the back. And there is my beautiful daughter, she's nearly 23, she's about to graduate with an honours degree at the University of Edinburgh and is going to London School of Economics to do social policy. The world is such a better place with her in it. And I have tried to be the best mother that I can possibly be. And in summary, and this is written to my daughter, and this is at page 156, you need to go and get it to read all the rest. In summary then, dearest daughter, if you stayed with me through all these reproductive ups and downs, I started having fertility treatment in May 1990 and I finally stopped in 2001. I had 29 cycles of treatment, 12 cycles of fertility treatment before I became your mother. I had you, my wonderful, miraculous, beautiful daughter. And then I tried with all my heart and resolve to have another baby, to give you a brother or sister, another 17 times through gift, IVF, embryo transfers, and anything that medical science had to offer at the time. I made 49 embryos, which, for whatever reason, did not become babies. I was sad about this for a long time. I could no longer read articles about IVF, and it was hard to close that chapter in my life on my fertility and my hopes for more children. But I had no choice but to pack up those troubles quickly. I resolved again to focus upon you, upon giving you the very best future I could. I don't want you to grow up feeling sad about what you don't have. I want you to grab life by the throat and live life to the full, determined to wring out every single drop of opportunity for what you wanted for your life, knowing that I will be there to support you every step of the way. And although that's a message to my daughter, it's a message to every young woman in this room. And I discovered, which I use as a little bookmark for my book, which I think sums it up quite well, the young woman protesting, and she's got a little sign that says, "Keep your rosaries off my ovaries." And that really does sum up my book. So I want to make a plea that you remember the power you have as medical professionals, and particularly to the women and the young nurses, the power you have to balance the sometimes, and whether it's an unintended brusqueness or arrogance, but it's still there from the doctors when they still use the words "my dear" and don't listen to the choices that women want to make. You have a powerful role to make, and we live in a very different Scotland, and I'm so, so pleased about that. And what I say to my daughter is that she's got to appreciate all the struggles of the generation of women that went before her. And she now has, as you all have in this room, all of us have, the opportunity to go confidently in the direction of your dreams, and please do so. Thanks very much.